All of Nicocado Card's prior breakdowns look like pleasant moments in comparison to the very heartbreaking video he recently posted. In a video named simply Nikocado, he expresses tremendous sorrow for his time spent on YouTube, while also acknowledging the financial loss and the ways that celebrity has devastated his life. Nick is nearly crying after just 24 seconds of the 41-minute video. Just going to tell you right off the bat, I'm on the edge of a breakdown, which sets the tone for a disastrous start. I will probably be crying by the time this video ends. It doesn't take long to figure out why this is happening. Nick had started to understand YouTube wasn't the best option. He acknowledges that if given another chance, he never would have started. My life was going great, so I decided to do this YouTube life, and I'm sitting here thinking, I have thrown away the best years of my life. He says, I wish I could go back in time. I long to travel back in time. I wish I had never signed up for YouTube. I regret having decided that this would be an enjoyable means of earning a living, living a fulfilling life, and supporting my family. He goes on to allude to the source of his anguish, saying, my job is to deal with individuals who despise, don't care about, or aren't even interested in me. They have another purpose for being here. This isn't to my taste. This is not my favorite channel. What I'm doing with my life isn't anything I like. I had objectives. I let go of my dreams to consume food. Nick's admission that he hates his job is a little more startling than his dislike of his job itself. The irony is, I've barely made any money for the past 2-3 years. With 1.85 billion views over his 5 most popular channels, Nicocado Card has generated $5.5 million from YouTube commercials alone, assuming a modest ad charge of $3 per 1,000 views. In addition, Nick has his renowned line of merchandise and a Patreon, which when added up to everything else, might result in career profits of about $10 million. Thus, how is it conceivable that he was not a wealthy man? Well, Nikocado elaborates, I hate that my job is showing up here and hoping I get paid from it, because the YouTube gods struck me down 3 years ago, and it's never improved. Though it has been more than 3 years since his films were monetized, Nick seems to suggest that this was not the case. We put this to the test by viewing his content on a brand new account, and we discovered that the majority of the videos on More Nikocado don't even feature any ads. He thus starts to think about possibly relocating abroad. I'm going to go to Indonesia. Do you know how much my friend who is currently there paid for her dinner? $2.24. Nick has lived in South America for 3 years, so he has experience with this. And I realized that what was the point of all this if I had done something more whatever friendly or age appropriate? Even I don't enjoy this. Even more painfully, Nick considers how he might have continued to pursue his prior passion for violin playing. I felt like I had a purpose, to create beautiful music, to inspire people, to give people hope when they're going through horrible things. However, it appears that Nick's prior skill has been completely obliterated by his mukbangs. All it takes is one person to come to a concert or show, and you change their life because you inspire them to do something similar or go into the arts, remarks Nikocado, lamenting the violin's lack of influence as an art form on people's lives. I'm eating food drenched in oil while I sit here. Nikocado, it's your fault, he continues. I performed admirably. I was awarded a full scholarship to my university. What school could you imagine? I spent 2 years at Juilliard. Given that Juilliard is the most esteemed music school in the world, a Reddit member discovered Nick's whole list of violin accomplishments, and there were undoubtedly many. Thus, it makes sense that he was qualified to instruct. Have you ever held employment? Yes, a lot of violin lessons. I used to perform at nuptials. After viewing all of Nick's violin recordings on YouTube, Violin Mechanic concluded that he was near professional right from the bat. More than anything else, Nick missed this similar kind of respect from other people. After my gigs, I would sign autographs and people would line up to take pictures with me. Nick attracted large audiences with his street performance, but after reflecting for more than 20 seconds, he finds that what he misses is the respect he once had for himself. I had a sense of pride, a sense of honor, and a sense of happiness. I felt more a part of God. He no longer has the desire to continue doing mukbangs in contrast to his songs. He tries to discuss the cuisine, but it's obvious he doesn't give a damn. "It's okay, let's try these breadsticks," Nick says, distracted by the idea of retiring. "And who will care if I simply stop posting on YouTube? A few hundred individuals? Alright, I can't eat Takis and watch Nicocado slurp noodles. My life has changed, I see. I used to watch Takis be eaten by Nikocado." He has been thinking about this subject for the past year. Why then doesn't he give up and do something different entirely? He does, however, also address this. "Not even a regular job will hire me. Imagine, for example, that I was to apply to be a manager of some kind. There will be strong feelings because of how well known I am and how many terrible situations I've gotten myself into. How many people despise me? Do you know? They would not collaborate with me. I feel like I've confined myself now, which is amazing." Sadly, Nick is most likely correct. If he was seen working in retail, it would make headlines right away. However, there are still more YouTube concepts that might be effective. When US Gang started a series on YouTube called Try to Lose Weight in 100 Weeks, it suddenly became very popular. Nick did, however, demonstrate that he was already making progress in his most recent video. "I shed 89 pounds recently, but I'm still horribly fat." It has been demonstrated that the audience enjoys hearing statements like, "I can't even fit in a chair." When you combine this with Nick's fame, you have the makings of a massively popular series that could save his health, channel, and deteriorating self-esteem. "I look so bad. I don't want to be unattractive," she said, hoping that every single person would admire him. Imagine if he took a year or two off from YouTube, gained muscle, dropped all the weight, changed into a total dude, and then came back to YouTube to play the violin. It would be absurd how much respect he would get. Nick's utter fear of attempting anything novel is the only issue. The worst part is, I have an escape route, and I'm so afraid to take it. But is there another option at this point? I have half of my life left. I don't want to be like this for the next 60 days. Nick acknowledges that he cannot continue to perform mukbangs. You cannot. One cannot continue to wager on a failing horse. It's simply not possible. And in my foolish mind, I kept thinking that if I produced more content, things would improve and change. I just don't get along. Simply put, people don't like me. And it is the reality. It hurts too. Nicocado, meanwhile, is adamant that everyone despises him. And I'm here filming for people who despise me. Whoa, I love my life. Whoa, I'm so proud of myself. Nick storms off to the bathroom in the last scene of the film, leaving his dinner on the table unfinished. We've never seen such a level of total energy. Nick has performed melancholic mukbangs before, but this one is unique. It feels like he's finished for real this time. This is the end of today's video. Give your valuable response in comment section below.